Appearances can be misleading, as when you see this beautiful estate, you assume I must be somewhere in France. Even more confusing when I tell you these limestone inserts were at one time the altar rail in St George's Church in London. My name is Mark Thomas, and in case you haven't figured it out already, I'm in the well-respected town of Tenafly, New Jersey, just 10 minutes from the George Washington Bridge. This house is the perfect solution for the person who craves the country life, where in the spring the scent of wildflowers circulate around the house, but is unable to live without the incredible diversity of life New York City has to offer. You can literally spend your day shopping on Madison Avenue in some of the world's finest boutiques, then come home for a swim in the pool and relax, and in the evening head back to the city and dine at one of the world's finest restaurants. The property is located at the end of a small winding lane in the pretty area of Tenafly known as Old Smith. Tenafly is not only a lovely little town, but also boasts award-winning schools. As you enter the property, you are led either towards the rear courtyard with the 4-car garage, or to the front of the house, which has a wonderful circular driveway. The original builder, who is responsible for many of the houses in this neighbourhood, saved this piece of land for himself as it is so secluded and naturally beautiful, with mature trees and a delightful brook. The property was acquired 16 years ago by the present owners, who in 2001, with the help of architect Eric Baker, embarked on a huge reconstruction. The house was totally remodelled and modernised. But it's in the choice of materials used to complete the project the owners had the most fun. The homeowners took their hunt for decorative materials to Europe, where they discovered this 200-year-old terracotta tile floor in the north of France. They acquired this railing from a channel in Venice, Italy, and the 2 bar stone angels were found in a church in England. It occurs to me they may be onto something, as handpicking treasures in Europe seems far more entertaining than a trip to the local home store. The first thing you notice as you step into the music room is the mural artistry created on the walls. The artist has recreated on canvas an actual existing Japanese garden and has gone to great lengths to give the impression that this room, which is located in the centre of the house, is actually without walls and ceiling. This lovely dining room is beautifully designed with this imposing antique French furniture and these stained glass panels which are 100 years old and again from a church in London. This incredible chandelier is handcrafted from glass and gold by the Sedanese, who are the last remaining glass artisans in Murano, Italy, and where it takes 10 years of training to become a qualified glassblower. It's also good to know that you buy your glassware from the same place as the English royal family. The family room is an incredibly interesting space, with superb light illuminating the room from the French door and windows. At the other end of the room, the 17th century oak columns frame the antique stained glass panels beautifully, and are flanked by a pair of English 19th century gilt bronze and brass gasoliers. The beautifully bright kitchen looks as if it's been plucked from a country estate in Provence. The floors are from a castle in the south of France and give incredible texture and depth to the room. The light cabinetry and yellow walls complete the scene and leave you with a warm feeling even in the midst of an East Coast winter. I can picture this room as a hive of activity in the summer, with the French doors open to the gardens and the guests enjoying their lunch by the pool. For a little added authenticity, I'd like to introduce Lydie, who is of course French. She has impeccable taste and was responsible for designing the gardens. Lydie, if you could tell us a little about your inspiration behind the gardens.
I was inspired by Monet, the master of Impressionism, and all the colors in his garden at Giverny in France. I wanted to be able to see a lot of colors from early spring until late fall. And I went about to design the gardens just based on that. So in the spring, one day you wake up and you see this explosion of yellow flowers. It's forsythias, the first blooms of the spring. Then the azaleas take over with a display of large red, pink and white flowers. And you know Mother's Day is around the corner. It all escalates in the summer. It's a loud symphony of colors, capturing your eyes from right to left, each flower competing for first place. You have the lilies in shades of orange, pink, white. You have yellow roses, red roses, multicolor roses. It's not only a lot of colors, but it's also a lot of scent. It's overwhelming. every flower has a different fragrance. The jasmine, the wisteria, the hydrangea. Then in the fall, nature looks like it's on fire. It's beautiful. The leaves on the trees turn bright red, yellow, orange. It's the last word before winter. And then in the winter, all is quiet. It's blanketed in snow. The gardens are dormant.
The office or library exhibits beautiful warm mahogany panelling. The numerous windows create a magnificent working space, or maybe just a wonderful place to retire with a good book and warm yourself in front of the intricately carved 200-year-old fireplace, which happens to be reclaimed from a manor in France. As you make your way up the fabulous winding staircase, you notice the upstairs landing is as spacious as most living rooms and dramatic with a combination of light walls, rich hardwood flooring and the extraordinary ironwork in the railings and fixtures. This master bedroom suite feels dignified and sophisticated, with its own French doors leading directly to the swimming pool and the gardens. And if you happen to be in a dilemma as to which gown to wear to the ball, this sitting room gives ample space for multiple changes, with direct access to the master closet and its own fireplace. The master bathroom suite is magnificent, with this huge shower, twin copper sinks, and this enormous whirlpool bath with its own pillared canopy. The upstairs continues with numerous bedrooms, in fact too numerous to mention them all, but their design influences are definitely driven by age and gender, and all tastefully decorated. This house is undoubtedly French in appearance, dreamt up in a world inspired by Matisse, Monet, Van Gogh and Cézanne, and the vision was achieved beautifully. But it seems to me the greatest design influence on this property is family. This is a happy house which demands activity and interaction. I can imagine the comings and goings of children growing through the years, but always enjoying this house and all its benefits in its most important role as a home. I feel as if I'm coming to the end of a European vacation, as it's so quiet and relaxing here. The property is large enough to feel totally secluded, and the house, though magnificent in its architecture, is warm and inviting. I truly feel miles from civilization, yet in 20 minutes I'll be sitting in a restaurant in Manhattan enjoying dinner and cocktails.